What is up, guys? Private Eye Russ here. I am Private Eye Russ. This is the Private Eye Russ podcast. Welcome here. You could have been anywhere. You chose to be here. Thank you so much for being here. I own and operate a fully licensed private investigation and security consulting firm. We provide a multitude of services up to and but not exclusive to corporate theft investigations, whether it's material, embezzlement, or intellectual property. We can take care of you. Criminal defense support investigations, litigation support investigations, corporate due diligence investigations, obviously infidelity investigations, a ton of those, as well as pre-relationship background investigations. You want to find out what this individual you might be tying yourself to legally and spiritually for the rest of your life, potentially. Let us do the hard work for you to look into their background to see if they've been truthful with you or not. So if you do need a private investigator, we operate all over. We also provide remote services. I've quarterbacked investigations with individuals. I've also supplied them with information remotely that revealed an individual was indeed being dishonest, up to and including infidelity. Reach out to me at Russ, R-U-S-S, at privateeruss.com. That's Russ at privateeruss.com. Alternatively, you can also reach me at privateinvestigatorruss@gmail.com. That's privateinvestigatorruss@gmail.com. You can also send me a direct message on Twitter, Elon, on X as well too. So let's get straight into it. This is not a private investigator. This is not about cheating. This is about safety overall in dating. This is a channel I've been subscribed to for a very long time, VAJ Jitsu. The gentleman's name is Professor David. He approaches self-defense from a very practical standpoint. A lot of people have many misconceptions about defending themselves. There are a lot of people that are studying different things that think they can defend themselves when push comes to shove. And unfortunately, a lot of you are going to be, a lot of those people are going to be in for a rude awakening should the beast come knocking on their door. So he has a very practical way of doing things. And so let's hear what he has to say. He's talking about one night stand. And so fair use.
Pay attention. I've been warning you guys to pay attention to who you go out with, right? Just because a female got on all her gear and she looked good and you think, oh man, she's sexy, she's fine. You don't know who and what you're getting under all that makeup, under that weave, under that.
He's right. In the military we used to call makeup war paint. People still call it that, I guess, still. Women can make startling transformations when it, from makeup to, to having no makeup on. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys, get caught up in the Instagram trap and the way that women know how to photograph themselves. They know what angles to photograph themselves. They will go through 100 or 1,000 pictures and pick one, and that's the one that you'll see. They have their angles perfectly to make their bodies look as shapely and as nice as possible. They have ways of editing photos to cut out blemishes and flaws and things that make you think they look some way they don't. I'm not a fan of that. None of you should be a fan of that because that's not what you're getting. You're getting something completely different. But he's going to go a little bit deeper into that. So let's hear what he has to say. Fair use.
Them eyelashes under that tight skirt. You don't know what's the real hurry.
Girdles. There's a thing, I forgot what the heck this thing is called, man. They showed a woman putting this thing on. She had a huge belly, huge stomach, like Santa Claus type stomach. And she put on this thing and it cut her stomach out completely to where you wouldn't even know it. So, fair use.
So you gotta watch out.
Excuse me.
For those one night stands.
Sorry, allergies.
You understand?
One night stands.
Because if you don't, and you don't know who you're dealing with,
one night stands will get you in jail. They'll get you sued. And in this case, look what happened to this dude.
watch this.
You murdered this man.
Yes,
You tortured him.
of course. I took him to my house, walked him down the street. I don't know why the media acts like the motherfucker couldn't walk. He walked very well. Walked him upstairs, kicked his ass, and killed him.
Okay.
First of all, if you're a man who can't fight off a woman, you need to do some training, man. Or go out with smaller women. But, who knows what she did? She may have hit him upside the head. She may have drugged him. I don't know. But, again, bad business. But, let's hear what he has to say. Fair use, and then we'll comment afterwards.
You see how cold she was? Now, you looking at her without all the makeup and without all the gear, but once they put all that makeup and stuff on, they transform themselves. So now, guys, this is the self-defense channel, and you need to watch out and stop thinking. Stop thinking. Somewhere and some way you shouldn't be thinking. Don't just go on your emotions. Master your emotions and watch out for that.
I talk about that all the time, learning how to hold your water. That's just something I use for learn how to control your emotions. You let your emotions get away, get you into hot water. Men do not belong in the emotional realm when it comes to uncontrolled emotion. It doesn't mean you don't feel emotion or you don't experience them. You just do not let them, don't let them order your steps. Do not let them influence your behavior, but especially your decision making. Control your emotions and you can control your life. If you're a man who has difficulty with that, difficulty with making decisions, difficulty with taking charge of his life, if you're tired of being a passenger in your life because of poor training when you were a youngster, influences, whatever it might be, I can help you. I offer personal coaching as well too, whether it's business development or personal development. One of my specialties happens to be strategic planning. If you have an important negotiation coming up, I have been incredibly instrumental in helping people achieve the outcomes they want. I won't go into details how I do that. However, I have a very good track record. So reach out to me at russ@privateeyeruss.com and I will help you. Anyway, let's keep going.
At first date, because I tell you once and I tell you again, some of these chicks, you gotta leave them hoes alone. To another level.
Damn. Okay. And he's 100% truthful. Obviously, he's an OG. He's been around. And so people have this tendency. They look at women, especially if the woman is small, petite, or especially if she's pretty. Some of the most evil women I've ever met, or in cases I've worked on, were some of the prettiest women you will ever see. But again, guys are blinded through just because they see a pretty face, they think she's a good person. I've had guys say, "Oh, she seemed like she was okay." That's right before she stole his identity and wound up almost making away with a bunch of his money, a bunch of his gear, whatever it might be, or setting him up to get robbed, battered, who knows what. So watch yourselves. Be very careful. Do not drop your guard over a pretty face or a cute body or whatever it might be. Women can be just as violent, but in most cases, they have to be a little bit more crafty because they understand that they are at a physical deficit when it comes to a grown man. And so they'll be a lot sneakier and underhanded, and you will be caught totally unaware if you are not on top of your game. So like, subscribe, share this video, comment below if you want to learn more about not just private investigators or how I operate as a private investigator, but the goal of this channel is to teach you guys about life in general, using some of the lessons as a private investigator, but also too life lessons I've learned over decades and decades and decades. Not just my experiences, but helping people out of their own trouble, which is something I also provide some of the more high net worth clients. We do offer a set of protocols and an executive problem solving solution service, but again, I won't go into details on those just because it's not for the general public and at large. So reach out to me if you need my help. Russ@privateeyeruss.com. Like, subscribe, share. Come on, hit like. Doesn't cost you anything. Just takes a second, man. Just hit like, man. And help me get over the 1,000 subscriber hump. Anyways, your boy Private Eye Russ. Stay tuned. There will be more. See you guys in the next one.